Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. Couple of days ago I did a stream where I AI rated your drafts, but I couldn't AI rate everyone's drafts, so I didn't want to hurt somebody or make somebody regret my joining my stream. So I promised them that I would rate them via the AI tools that FF Hub are providing, and I'm going to rate their drafts on a video right now. If you want to not wait for my videos and to just rate your drafts on your own, there will be links down in the description where you can go and follow the same procedures that I do and just rate your draft. If you want to be suggested some other changes, you can follow the link down in the description as well, and you can become a member of the FF Hub community. It's very helpful. All of the data that I'm getting, it's from there. Now let's go into the first draft. So here we are with our first draft, that is Killian's draft, and yeah, he has used all of the budget. His team rating is 100%. I don't know if he's using some AI tools, but I haven't seen that yet. His game week rating is 95, but I'm a little bit worried about some players, in particular Mbumo and Wissa. All of the rest of the players I think are pretty good, but Mbumo and Wissa in particular I think are going to have a massive drop-off. 8 million for Mbumo feels a lot. He is losing penalties, most probably he's losing most of the set pieces, and I don't know how central he will be to the way that United play. I feel like Mbumo's points came when he was playing mostly as a right-sided forward, not like in a 4-3-3, but when they were playing 3-5-2 and when he was coming from the right. Now they're going to play 3-4-3 with United, so he's expected to cut inside once again, and maybe that will be very, very beneficial for him. But until I see some improvement in United side, I would not pick Mbumo. And Wissa, he is looking to leave the team of Brentford. Even if he stays, I think that Brentford are a little bit question mark this year. They've lost Mbumo, Norgard, Flecken, their manager, their staff, and it is going to be tough for them. So Wissa, I would stay clear from him. What I will do in this lineup, I will get Wissa out and probably will replace him with Solanke. I think it's a nice replacement immediately for his team. And the other guy that I'm going to replace is Mbumo, and with the 8 million I will pick someone like either Gordon. Gordon is a good option. If Isaac leaves, he will be on penalties. I know that these numbers are low, but still leads in game week 3 with penalties in the first 4 weeks. I think it looks okay, and Gordon is one of the options and Morgan Rogers is the other. Let's say we go for Morgan Rogers, we make the transfers. Yes, the team rating drops a little bit, but I think that this team is better like that. Petrovic in goal is a personal decision for that week, but after that his fixtures improve. If you don't want to face Liverpool in the first week, you can go for Flecken, Verbruggen, all of the rest, but the rest of the side I really like it. So well done, Killian. I enjoyed your draft. If you switch Mbumo and Wissa, who I think will struggle for the start of the season, your team will be even better. Next up for us is a draft provided by Mikal. Thank you so much for providing it. AI is rating your team at 94% and 93% game week rating, so a little bit lower than the previous one, but not to worry. I think that you have some very good potential in this lineup. I like a lot of the players that you selected. The defense is a little bit light, but that's understandable. When you have Palmer, Salah and Wirtz and Watkins into the team, the budget just evaporates. Thiago is an interesting pick here. I don't know if I've seen many drafts with Thiago in it, but 6 million, I think he will be one of the best forwards at 6 million if he is fit. He came from a Bulgarian side. He played for a Bulgarian side 3 years ago, but Igor Thiago has improved massively. If Wissa leaves, I think that Thiago will be their main man and he can gain up a lot of points in the run. Elsewhere in the team, the only asset that I'm not completely certain is Gvardio. I know that they're saying that there are a lot of points potential for him, but still facing Spurs, Brighton, Manchester and are still in the first 5 weeks, it's not something that I would rely on. What I will do, because City are not the best of the defenses, and here I would probably pick someone like Cucurella to replace him. And if we go and select Cucurella into the team and we make the transfers, I think that it improves it a little bit. Of course, I think that these numbers here are wrong. I think that it will be around a 4.5, 5 points in the first couple of, especially in the Sunderland fixture, and you can safely replace Baleba with him. But overall, your team is really solid and I quite like it, and it seems like the AI likes it as well. So thank you for your submission. Next up, we have Kindo's draft. Thank you, Kindo, for providing your draft for us. This is his draft. When we optimize the team, it looks like that. Of course, I think that there is a mistake. I don't think that Tarkovsky should be here. What I would personally do is replace the Cowper with him. I know that the team rating drops massively, but I think that this is wrong. I think that Tarkovsky leads away 1.7 compared to Wolves away 4.3. I feel like that leads away would be something similar to 4 point. So he's expected 4.6 here, 3.2 points against Liverpool and 1.7 points against Leeds. Come on, I think that what the AI is expecting here is for him not to be fit, but I would argue that he will start the season. Of course, you already have Salah, Palmer and Dai and Suanke for penalty takers. I like it. That's a pretty standard draft. I've seen most of the players already in a lot of teams. Adu Ajay is an interesting 4.5 option. I don't know if he will get minutes, but he's a bench fodder for your team, so I quite like it. I really enjoy the site that way. I don't think that a lot of improvements can be made, specifically if you ended up on this. Maybe Kudus, because two Spurs attackers, at the end of the day, I don't know how exciting that will be for you. But if you replace Kudus, you can go for maybe a 5.5 midfielder like Anderson in order to get you those 3 points per week, basically, because he will get it half of the time. So 3 to 4 points every week it will be from Anderson minimum. So I think that's a good shout to have. But nonetheless, I quite like this draft. Maybe even Declan Rice here can improve it a bit. But even if you don't make any changes, I quite like it, and I think that you did a very good job. Next up, we have Khurum's draft, and I think that this draft is really solid. He left a note that this will be a bench boost draft, and what I see as an obvious thing is that the AI is not a fan of the bench boosting strategy. I think that that's why it gives him such a low rating and game week rating, but this team for a bench boost is pretty strong. Several things that I do not fancy here. First of all, you have 3 midfielders that are for defensive returns: Rodrigo, Caicedo and Anderson. And Rodrigo takes up a Chelsea spot, so in the next phase, if you want someone from, let's say, defensive department like Cucurella or João Pedro up front, you will have to sell someone, and you having a triple up already is not something that I fancy quite a lot. So I would replace Caicedo with someone like Baleba from Brighton, and this will guarantee you a little bit more money to ask for. You have Fulham, Everton, Man City will be a game where he gets the bonus, so I think that you have a very high potential with Baleba into your squad instead of Caicedo. What else I do not fancy is having a double Forest defense. I don't like their defensive run, and if you're looking for a 5 million defender that can be on your bench after that, or you can rotate, I would go with someone like Konsa for 4.5, and even I would swap the 4.5 spot with Spurs, and Caicedo I will get Poro, and then I will get Konsa, and I will be happy with my squad. The idea is good, but I think the budget can be a little bit more optimized, because after the bench boost, unless you activate that wild card, I think you're going to struggle. You have a lot of money invested on your bench, and that's quite worrying. Tarkovsky, Muriu, Udogi is injured at the moment, so I don't fancy that much spent in your defense, when probably you will regret it having 3 already players from Forest and 3 from Chelsea. That will be very hard for you to navigate the rest of the fixtures. Yes, Baleba and Verbruggen will get you 2 Brighton spots, but at the end of the day, probably you would like only 1 more maximum. So I think that 2 spots from Brighton. If you don't want Brighton, you go for Christie from Bournemouth. I think it will work all the same for you. Against Liverpool, I think he's fighting for those bonuses. There are players like Malen, for example, that who knows is preaching about. I don't know if he will play or not, but he is an option as well. I'd quite like this draft, but it can be adjusted a little bit in order not to have benching issues and then selection issues going forward without using your wildcard. Next up, we have Scrabble's team. I think that this team is heavily underrated by the AI. I think the AI haven't picked up on those players as of yet, and that's why he has such low scores. 89% with 84. I think that this is too harsh. First of all, having 2 Wolves players starting against City, not ideal, but unless he is bench boosting, I think he can bench Arias this week and he will have it all right. How I will put the squad up is I will put Malen, this is the AI rating, but Malen here and Tarkovsky here, and I think this will be the starting lineup that I go for. You bench Arias, you play Malen against Newcastle. I think Newcastle are going to struggle defensively by the looks of the friendly games, but yet Thiago, Malen, Tarkovsky, Arias, those are players that the game hasn't picked up on yet. And with that being said, I think that it will be quite hard for the AI to pick up that squad. 77% rating, that seems low. But on the contrary, I think that's one of the better drafts that I've seen, especially successfully adding Salah, Bruno and Haaland into a draft, and then having 2 5.5 defenders with 4.5 defenders. You have a proper keeper, so I think you are on the right track. What I will be careful about is the 2 Wolves players, how Igor Thiago is playing. Is Malen going to stay? Why the hell it changed again? But yeah, it didn't optimize, so now I'm optimizing it again. It does it somehow on its own sometimes, but yeah, because I haven't saved it. Okay, I'm saving it now. So yeah, this is what I'll be careful about: Arias, Malen's minutes, Thiago's minutes, and probably if Tarkovsky is fit, but all the rest I quite like it. Next up, we have Ansari's team, and honestly, looking at it, it gets 95% team rating, 91% game week rating, but I honestly don't like it. I don't like several stuff. First of all, I know it's stupid, but don't pick a backup keeper from Forest. You might need 3 Forest players at some point, and you picking a Miguel keeper just to sit on your bench, it's useless. Get someone from Burnley, Wolves, or whatever team you're not selecting players from, and just be done with it. Don't care about the team. But Forest, you might need 3 players. There is Anderson, Sales, Aina, the whole defense, Chris Wood, Morgan Gibbs-White, Igor Jesus. You have plenty of players that you might need. Don't waste the transfer there. Next up, swap Gay immediately with Richards. I think that he's just the better pick. Swap Aina with Williams. I think that he's immediately the better pick. And if I make the transfers, already the team has improved AI wise, and here I agree with AI. One thing more, I will not pick Rice in that situation. You have Gabriel, you have Saka, and you have Rice. It's not worth going for. So let me replace this with let's say with Cairns. I don't care who the other keeper is. But next up, what I hate about this is Beto. I don't think he's nailed, so Beto here will make ways. What else I don't like is probably having Damsgaard into the squad and Rice into the squad. So those 3 players are going to leave the team if it was my team. And what I will get is I will get Thiago, for example, from Brentford. You have the forward there. Then I will get Ndai. You have the midfielder from Everton instead of the forward. And next up, you have a 5.5 to pick yourself a holding midfielder that will get you the points. So one of the option is Anderson. So see why I don't want to have a third forest player, because now I'm already with 2 and adding a third would have been impossible. And I think that this now is a way better team if Thiago plays. If Thiago doesn't play, what I will do is this guy Share. I know he's 7 million, but I think he is due some amazing returns. I think he will start 11 goals with 4 assists. I think that against Sunderland, he has a good game, but honestly, he can score against a lot of oppositions. But I think Thiago will play. Thiago, Anderson and I think that this is a way better structure to follow. And even if you don't want Anderson, you can go with Baleba. I think Baleba at 5 million here, if we pick him, will allow you to get a 6.5 striker. And for example, Raul Jimenez, make the transfer, optimizing the team and saving the plan will lead you to a 97% team rating with 94. Here I agree with the AI. You don't have an underrated player at the moment. I think all of your players are with good potential. I think that 4.4 is too high for that holding GM, but all in all, I think that this draft suits you better and it's an improvement from your last team. Damsgaard was an interesting pick, but I don't know where he will play and how Brentford will play, so I would avoid him for sure. Joao Pedro a little bit risky as well. I would go for Solanke personally, but at the end of the day is your team, and if you want Joao Pedro, you can pick Joao Pedro. Those were all the drafts rated, and if you want your draft to be rated on your own, you can follow the links in the description. It's going to be completely for free to rate your team. If you want to earn more data and want to see more analysis, you can become a member of FF Hub. If you want, you can join and request to be given your money back at the end, because they have an offer. First of all, it's 50% at the moment, and secondly, if you don't win the mini league that you wanted to win and you message them, they will return you the money. So all of those great stuff can be found down in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being part of the community. If you don't want to join FF Hub or only follow me and follow my content, you can just subscribe to the channel. It's completely for free. We are pushing for 4K until the start of the season. Probably I will decrease the goal to 4K in order to pursue it better. I think that I'm really close, and then I will once again increase it to 5K, but one step of the way closer to reaching that 5K is first being on the 4K. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being present. More deadline streams and more content will be coming your way. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.